Hi guys. So, provenance. Provenance is key. It's so important in antiques in general, but no more so than Royal Navy artifacts. I mean, just using a badge as an example, you guys would have seen hundreds of badges everywhere, from golf clubs to police stations to eBay's full of them. But 99 out of 100 badges aren't the original ones. Now, the other ones aren't fakes. There's lots of independent companies that make them as souvenirs. And there were lots of badges made on board. Each ship had a pattern shop and had the pattern for the badge. And sailors would scrap together scraps of aluminium or brass and get a badge made for their loved one or for somebody that they're visiting and giving it as a token of friendship. So there's a lot of badges that aren't the right ones. There are the odd Tompions too, which as soon as they started to become valuable, they were replicated. But this is why this collection's so significant and so important. So the provenance, the collection's called the Ferrers-Walker collection because a lovely chap called Tom Ferrers-Walker, who was in the Navy in World War II, when he left the Navy, he noticed that all the very best ships were all getting broken up in Inverkeithing mainly, Thomas Ward and Co. Thomas Ward Limited, sorry. And he would go up to the shipbreakers every month, and the shipbreakers would show him what the stuff that they'd saved. So he bought the gear from source. And when they finished scrapping those ships, he went on collecting from privately or from auctions. And so 99% of this was bought directly from source from the shipbreakers. He'd buy a name board off Shackleton, for example, but he'd only want one. He wouldn't have two. He didn't need to. There's a very good chance there was only ever two name boards on a ship. There's a very good chance the other Shackleton doesn't exist because the shipbreaker would have scrapped all these bronze letters. The average price of a name board, for example, is £1,250 to £2,000. The average price to cast these individual letters to get them made. It's not worth faking them for starters. So you don't see very many replica name boards at all. So these came directly from source, all of this stuff. And when obviously it didn't take long for his collection to outgrow his home. And so in the mid-90s, it all went on loan to the Royal Navy Museum in Portsmouth, where it was on display. Some of it was on display at the front, but then if you applied to look at the stuff behind the scenes, you could see it there. And all of these items, every single one was on display at the museum, and it was documented by the curator and approved by the curator. So we've got a situation where this collection was salvaged from source, went through the main National Royal Navy Museum and curated, and then sadly on Ferrers-Walker's passing, the family sold everything, and between me and a very good friend, we bought everything. Now, what we've got here in this particular collection is everything my lovely friend bought. And he was the most passionate collector of all of our customers. And every single thing here he bought for a reason. Everything had a significant history to it and pedigree. So this is the very, very cream of the Ferrers-Walker collection. And on the top of all of that, you have our word and our certificate of provenance if needed for it. Which we've been in this business, 45 years now. And our reputation's built on the real, you being able to have faith in the fact that you're buying the real McCoy. All of this is the real McCoy. So the provenance for all of this is impeccable. Anyway, look, I hope you find that reassuring. Happy bidding.